Number 5, Wild 7. For a short time, this actually topped my list of worst animes, and it is really, really, really bad. Everything about it just is terrible. It's one of those things where you feel like it's going to be funny bad, but then it turns out to just be so unimaginably stupid that you can't even laugh anymore. It just hurts your brain to think about it and watch it. The basic plot is that there are 7 ex-cons who are on like death row or something, and they're taken like out of death row in order to be like a super crime fighting force. The problem is that basically the point of the show was to be a delivery system for guys fighting on motorcycles, but they don't incorporate that well, so they have to just shoehorn it in. So it's basically just poorly shoved in, poorly done motorcycle combat scenes. And this is another one that tops my list of just stupid fucking ideas. So the main conflict is the bad guys are a TV network that has decided to create a bunch of personalities on their TV channel so that people will really like them, and then they can put these people on an election, and then they can win the election and thus control the country. Now, of course, this is completely retarded, primarily because their main, flagship series is, Biker Knights, which is a bunch of, knights that ride motorcycles. The problem is that these people were seen publicly killing, 200 people at a train station. It was them. Everyone saw it. Yes, so, that, there you go. It's not like they were making, likable characters that everyone would be interested in. No, they're, having wrestlers and a show about, people that, literally killed, 200 people. It makes no sense. So, yeah, everything about this is really stupid. It looks bad. It's dumb. Everything, it's just so poorly written. It's just terrible. Oh, my God. And at first I thought I was going to like it, since it starts pretty much with a child exploding, which is always funny, but no, it sucks. It is horrible. This is no Mad Bull 34. Number 4, Cream Lemon New Generation. So I talked a little bit about Cream Lemon earlier, and Cream Lemon, it has some really, really bad parts, but this truly takes the cake, and this is probably the anime that has the least point. This should not exist at all. It has no function. So, Cream Lemon New Generation takes the most relevant hentai ever made and turns it into not even an ecchi series. There's nothing remotely erotic about this. There's no porn. It's nothing. There is nothing to this. So, it consists of 4 episodes. It's an OVA. It has an Ami reboot, which is completely pointless. They completely changed how it looks, so the character design is different, and it looks like shit. And basically they add, a bully character to it, and it's a poorly written bully character, so it's just sort of, annoyance. And yeah, so there's that. Then there's another story, which is just horribly stupid and miserable and looks terrible and, again, mean-spirited and stupid. Then there's episode 3, and this is where it really gets bad. They do a recap of the Ami episode that they did, which consists of Ami in a chat room talking to people about how she wants to have sex with her brother. And that's it. It's 20 minutes of a girl in a chat room recapping the events of a previous episode. I've seen some irrelevant recaps, but this one, it's recapping one episode. How do you do that? How do you have an entire episode that's a recap of one other episode? That makes no sense. And for it to just be characters talking on a chat room, I mean, what the fuck? Dear God. And then episode 4, like, was another stupid one. It made no sense. A girl with, like, mantis things coming out of her tits. Everything about this is stupid and pointless. And it is just a complete waste of time and effort. It manages to be worse than, like, most of the bad things in Cream Lemon, and that's truly impressive. I mean, at least those things in Cream Lemon had porn, so yeah, this is just terrible. Don't watch it. Don't ever watch this. Number 3, Kagehime. This is one that is kind of hard to comment on, just because there's so much stupid shit about it, and I want to keep this somewhat brief. And describing everything that's wrong with it literally takes about 11 minutes, and I want to keep these videos within a reasonable length. But everything is wrong with this. Its character design is horrible. Its characters are completely annoying and really bland and one-dimensional. They have pretty much no actual character aspects. It's just sort of really generic, bland, stock characters that they took every annoying quality from really generic characters and just ramped them up to 11. Its story, nothing about the story actually makes sense or works in any sort of fashion. There's no reason for any sort of conflict in it. The MacGuffin that people are going towards makes no sense. How, like, they go about getting it makes no sense. In terms of, it basically just serves as a delivery system for references to Alice in Wonderland, but these are not well executed. It's kind of a reference, but not really. It is only in name. The episode titles do reference stuff from Alice in Wonderland, but none of the actual content does. There's no imagery. There's just nothing. It is a reference in name only. In terms of story, everything about it is bad. Nothing works. It's magical girls fighting for a MacGuffin, but there's not a set number of magical girls, and each magical girl has one of the MacGuffins within her, so that doesn't, like, work. It doesn't make sense in that respect, plus the MacGuffin that they're trying to get doesn't even exist. So how exactly they become magical girls, how they actually fight each other, how any of that actually works, makes no sense whatsoever. So fundamentally, it's a series that makes no sense whatsoever, looks terrible, has extraordinarily annoying characters, and basically constantly pisses you off with its absolute nonsense and bullshit throughout the entire thing. It is physically painful to watch this. I had a headache throughout most of the series. So, yeah, this is something that you should never watch. It is far longer than it should be, and truthfully, it ends in episode 12 and then has an extra bonus episode, which is completely terrible. It has nothing to do with the actual series, and basically takes a bunch of characters which I assume were in the manga but never actually showed up in the TV series, and then just sort of puts them in there as random, like, bad guys. So yeah, it's terrible. Nothing about it works. Nothing about it makes sense. It's a piece of shit.